Hear Me Out.
Hello, everybody. Welcome into premiere edition of Hear Me Out. My name's Tanner Dawson of the Sports Buffoons. Let's talk sports as well. Join with me are the guys from the Rec Room Sports. We got Whit, we got Jay. Guys, what's up?
Yo.
Welcome in.
What's going on, my
Welcome
brother?
in to Hear Me Out. I mean, this is a great show. It's going to be lined up. Basically, we're going to have a certain time limit. We're going to talk about certain topics, and these guys are going to get points. And these guys get points. If I think it's reasonable, if I think it's good, they get points. And guess what? They can also lose points as well. And we'll see who the winner is at the end. They get their own little close-up segment to finish out the show. So excited for it, guys. I'm excited for this first edition. Are you guys ready?
You're here.
Hey man, look, I'm just gonna say, like, I'm taking the gloves off, I guess you could say.
Taking the gloves off. Oh, we're already getting there. That's what I like to hear. Awesome, guys. So simple addition, right? We got 7 minutes total. There's a discussion between you two. I might pop in every now and then. Discussion with you two. I'll be judging you guys as both on your conversation, on what's being said out there. So just be aware. Just talk your game. Talk what you got. Talk the facts. And then after each time, you're going to hear this when it's time for a new topic. That is time for a new topic. And then we'll move on from there. On the final topic, you'll hear this sound. That means that's the final topic of the show, and we're about to round that up. So if you hear this sound, I like something. If you hear this sound, somebody gets a negative. So we got sounds in this thing. We got everything going in this play. I'm excited to get this thing going because I get to use almost all my resources.
Use all the buttons.
Dude, I'm so excited. So, all right, guys, let's get into it. First topic of the day, guys. First topic of the show. First topic of everything here. Shohei Ohtani. The Angels just said, hey, he's tradable, but we want some pieces. We want some stuff. We want some things going. I need to know what his best destination is outside of the Angels organization. Kick it off, Jay.
He needs to be chopping. You see, he's already chopping, right? When you see he hits a home run, he's already chopping. Where? Atlanta Braves. Atlanta Braves. The only thing that I would not like is the fact that he commands a very huge payroll, and he's asking, and they're saying he's probably going to be asking for $450 million, which is a lot of money for the Liberty Media Group. But not so fast. Not so fast. He actually, the Braves are actually going to go to one owner, actually ownership group of actual one person instead of actually a media group. So maybe, with that being said, maybe they will say, hey, with us just putting the load, so to say, on a business person or a business group that's actually going to be named, I think that the Braves are a good place. They're going to actually furnish them very well. They're going to take care of them. They're going to be able to give them that $450 million, work some things out. And Topless is the man. Definitely the Braves. Definitely the Braves.
Wait, what you got, man? What you got? Has to be something other than the Braves, right?
So I like Jay's answer. Don't get me wrong, but let me show you where I put my load. Okay. Right now, when I think about somebody going to a better market, nothing's wrong with the Angels in California, but when you think of California, you got so much competition. You got the Lakers, you got the Dodgers, and so many California teams. But when you think of New York City and baseball, there's only one team. You got to talk about the Yankees. And you talk about the Yankees, you got to talk about one owner, and his name is synonymous with money. All right. So what I like is we give them up, give up whoever they want to have. Nice bullpen, get a couple of players. I'll sell the farm team for all I care for Shohei Ohtani. Why? Because nobody has been on pace to do what he's doing. When you're batting and pitching at such a high rate, I might as well go ahead and give you the $450 $50 million that he's going to command because he's going to be somewhere around there. And you know what? You know who somebody? You know he could talk to A-Rod. A-Rod, man, how was it out there, man? It was great. When I finally left the annals of baseball, I felt great. You know what I'm saying? And I think that Shohei will also be a great draw in New York City for the Asian American community that is like lodged into New York. That's built into the fabric of New York. Man, that Asian turnout in the new Yankee Stadium will be so crazy. I think they probably have like, you know, an Asian day, like the parade that they have in New York as well. So big shouts out to the New York Yankees. Pinstripes look great on Shohei, if you ask me.
Jay.
I don't know.
New York. Is New York really the right spot?
Chinatown.
No, never. Because I'm telling you, even if it wasn't the Braves, I can say that he would do well maybe in Boston. He would do well maybe in Miami. You think Miami? Okay. You know, you definitely have to look at the fact that we're talking about a name, and as far as the community, as far as the Asian community, maybe the Astros. Now, listen, well, you gotta travel, man. I'm telling you, man. You come into Atlanta, man. You go straight up 85, and you go into Gwinnett County. He will be right at home. The whole Gwinnett County, and everywhere around will be going to our field to watch Ohtani, man. Atlanta Braves, man. Atlanta Braves, Truist Park.
I can understand that, Jay. But when we put in the and I'm not taking anything away from the Atlanta Braves and their market, but the number one market, sports wise, if you can't talk about LA, you gotta talk about New York. I can't imagine the money he can make outside of his contract, the commercials he could get, the endorsement deals.
Was our last World Series?
I don't, but hey,
he said he wants to go to a winner. A winner. He said he wants to go to a championship team. Not somebody who just, hey man, look, you see our pinstripes? No, man, who cares about pinstripes? Nobody cares about pinstripes anymore, dude.
Come on, man.
Nobody cares no more, man.
Think about all right. So this is my thing right here. Okay. So when careers change, they often happen on that second move. Okay. And I can think of several players when they got, even if they didn't win, you know, we could run down the list, okay, of players that when they got to New York, they realized, man, I've been missing out this whole time. And I'm telling you, Ohtani could be right in there. Right in that mix. He could be the next name that goes, man, you know what? This is what I was missing out on when I was not in New York, where I probably should have been from the get-go. And then Asian players love New York.
You're stuck on the Asian part, man. The Asian thing. Look here, Jay, here's what I gotta say, man. Atlanta, great. You know, use them. Now you're really gonna, take it to the World Series. But here's the thing. The thing that Atlanta Braves pride themselves on is that they built that thing within their organization. They went out and got their guys for not having to give up a bunch of money, right? They let Freddie Freeman walk, for God's sake. But you got Matt Olson and stuff. Look, the whole part of Ohtani not going to Atlanta makes sense because you guys are building something special within, but that's going to cost you future contracts. That's going to cost you some of your minor league guys. So that's where I'm kind of going down. Like Atlanta is definitely not the destination for this team. So anyways, guys, time to move on to the next one, baby. So here we go now. We're going to talk about the NBA a little bit, all right? NBA offseason going to play. There was a suspension that happened. Ja Morant out here, what was it, like 25 games or something like that? So for a supposed toy gun. I mean, who knows what it is now any days. So, but we got Ja Morant, and then you got Zion out here with about to have a baby, and then he comes out saying, some model, whatever, saying, the whole drama situation there.
He's a star.
Man, the guy's a star, right? But he hasn't played very much in the last 2 years. So now we got the question into play, right? Does John Morant bounce back John Morant style, right? And does he look like John Morant at all? Or is Zion the better bounce back? Who's the better bounce back going into play for this NBA season? Whit, we'll let you start it.
First off, I'm going to start by saying both of these young men have bright futures, and it's unfortunate that we don't know whether they're going to be with their respective teams that drafted them. But right now, I'm going to say right now, let's just take away the negativity, and I'm going to say Zion Williamson right now. Why am I going to say Zion Williamson? Because his issues right now are all physiological. They're all things that possibly, with a few tweaks, he could change. Now, Jay and I are both from South Carolina, and around this area, the area that we grow up in, we grow up with horrible dietary issues and choices in food to eat. I think Zion is just a product of his environment. When he goes back home, he gets there on Friday. Everybody in South Carolina knows Fridays, Saturdays, all barbecue days. Okay. He goes home, he's eating collard greens, he's eating fried chicken, he's eating dirty rice, he's eating stuff that we eat on the regular and don't think twice about. But at the same time, they're feeding him like he's home. You know, everybody's got that mom or that one parent or that one family member that goes, baby, get some more. Zion Williamson more than likely has that in his family, and he has to learn that, hey, you guys, I love you, but look, I got to start being better for myself. Here, just do me a favor, steam me some asparagus. You know what I mean? Let's maybe switch, 2 of my meals to, maybe smoothies. But growing up, he didn't know anything about that. But that's a part of becoming a professional. Anything that you do at a amateur level, when you become a professional, you got to change it up. And part of what Zion Williamson's issue is dietary. You know what I'm saying? I think if he was lighter, a la maybe the old Larry Johnson, who was not as big, but was just as springy and bouncy, right? Larry Johnson had very similar issues in that second and third year into Charlotte, because he became so big, he was swole. But, coming off the ground, that friction on those knees and those joints, man, when you that big, like, they lead to issues. And we've seen it in numerous players who come in, they're athletic. Some of them aren't as big as Zion, but that force that you generate going up and down the court, jumping for rebounds, bumping into other bodies, putting the force on the rim, man, that has a toll on you. And I think that it's really just showing him and the people around him that, hey, look, if you're not taking it serious, this is what will happen to you. You'll be on the sideline again. And Jay, I'm going to throw this in at you because you know what? We're taking the gloves off. Jay, if Greg Oden didn't put on an extra 100 pounds, he would still be playing right now. So there you go. All right. So that's my answer to the question. Zion Williamson, if he comes back, if he's focused, if he gets a great dietitian, he slims down a little bit and still realizes that his shape and form of playing basketball can be done, but just at a smaller size, I think he'd be fine, man.
Jay, who do you got? Who's better?
You know what? Who has a better bounce back? I would say Ja, because at the end of the day, basketball is a team game. Zion can go out there and get the Tom Brady diet for all I care. His team still has to put out there and produce. You know what I'm saying? Avocado ice cream is not going to help Ingram be a baller day in and day out. You know what I mean? And I mean, he's going to be a dog. I'm thinking he's going to have a great season and all. But when you're talking about the team and whole, the Grizzlies are set up better. They just picked up your boy. I don't understand. Like, is it because, they got Marcus Smart from your team? I don't know. Like, you got to look at it as Marcus Smart being there, them, getting rid of Dylan Brooks, and you actually have, somebody who you could depend on. Maybe Zion has a team that he could depend on till he gets it together. No,
No, we're not
Yeah.
depending on Marcus Smart.
I
Get
was
outta
giving him a
here.
little bit of credit.
Get
I was
out of
giving him
here.
some
You're giving him
credit,
too much credit.
but
Let's calm down.
obviously, no credit. Yeah, no. So, like, what Ja has waiting on him in these 25 games is a playoff team poised to go further than they've actually gone this past season. Of course, he had his setbacks during he actually got hurt and everything. And my whole thing with the pickup of Marcus Smart and possibly still early in this off season. So maybe pick up another piece. You can say you can count on Bain. We look at talking about 25 points a game. You know what I'm saying? He definitely can hold the weight for the team for 25 games. You know
Is
what
it
I mean?
hold the
So
weight?
not Zion's weight, but the weight of the Grizzlies, being without their most dynamic player, which is Ja Morant. But Ja Morant comes back to a team who is poised to, they have a better locker room presence. They're the coach is going to be coming in there. I'm thinking that even though Dylan Brooks, at the end of the day, he brought something to the team that didn't need to be there. And the coach made it clear that they weren't professionals. They weren't being professionals. They were very immature. So guess what? Guess who got sent out to the door? So my whole thing is it's gonna be the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies and Ja Morant have a better bounce back than a team in the West who we're talking about in the vision now with Dallas, who's going to probably get it together now, as well as Houston and San Antonio, who just picked up somebody who you're not going to just go in there, in the lane and cause havoc anymore. So here's the thing, with all the talent that's out in the West, I like my chances with the Grizzlies going further into the playoffs. And now we're talking about the in-season tournament, in play. Who knows? But the Grizzlies definitely have a better chance with, the in-season tournament might help the Grizzlies, with the fact that, who
You'll miss the
knows,
whole thing.
the
Right.
25 games are going to be really nothing, when you're talking about Bane, how good he's been.
Yeah.
So, can you say the same for, missing out on 29 and what, 15 or 29 and 13 or however you
Right.
want to say with Zion? Good numbers, but, they don't know what it's going to produce. It might be a setback chemistry wise. You don't know what you're getting with Zion still, even with the numbers. So I'm going with Ja. I'm
Yeah.
going with Ja for real.
For me, guys, going in before we hop into the next one here, look, Ja Morant, he's already been a superstar. He looks like a superstar every time he's on the court. There's no reason why it's not Ja. He didn't get older. He got suspended, right? So there's no basketball, issues. There's no weight gain. There's no questions off, there's off the court drama for both, but you also got a better team around you. You got a better atmosphere. I'm going Ja, of course, on my side because it just makes sense to me on that part. All right, guys, let's hop into it next year. I don't know if you saw the news. Saquon is going to be sitting out possibly through week 1 due to not getting paid, not getting his money. Didn't sign the franchise tag either. And Derrick Henry came out and said the same thing. Like, hey, running backs, I'm standing with those guys because we deserve to get paid too, We deserve that big money. We use our bodies. So what's our thoughts here? Running backs, do they deserve to get paid? Do they deserve not to get paid? Or is this just the new kind of way the NFL is going towards this case of running backs? Jay, I'll let you start her.
If you're going to hold your team hostage, why not go hold Todd Gurley hostage? Why not say, hey, man, we need to talk, man. Hey, you kind of like, can you put forth some type of effort to help these teams value us? Because you, Ray Rice, Devontae Freeman with the Falcons. I'll put it like this. This is a great example. If you do not sign Devontae Freeman, you could have at least still been able to keep Matt Ryan and Julio Jones at least for another season or two.
At least Julio.
Now, the whole problem with that was also accompanied with the signings of what Vic Beasley and Pat McKinley, which didn't work out as well. You know, you got Vic Beasley went from 20 sacks in the NFL to playing in the XFL. So definitely the running back position, man, is not it's high risk. It's high risk. When they show the numbers, they say like the running back position, they make like $1 million a change less than, you know, on average as far as the pay scale, you know, as far as the franchise tender. Look, I'm not giving anybody Todd Gurley $14 million a year money just to get a season or two out of you and then nothing. So you can sit there and blame, get on these GMs and take a stand. Derrick Henry, dude, everybody's not 6'3" and 250, bro. Like, what are you talking about? Nobody can take a stand with you. I mean, come on. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, like these guys who were saying, I'm with, oh man, this ain't right. Christian McCaffrey is criminal. No, dude, what you do on the field is criminal. Like, everybody's not you. You can't sit here and say, because, okay, Saquon, who in their right mind is going to give Saquon the money that he's commanding? What did he do last season? Seriously. When you look at these running backs from game to game, what has he done to say, hey, I'm going to give this man $20 million up front, whatever he's asking for? I'm just not with it. I'm not with it. I'm with the GMs and like the owners taking a stance on at least let's try and go back to the drawing board and try and figure out how to compensate a running back, probably more on the front end as far as guaranteed money, but not as big of a deal. So but no, I'm not with, running backs getting paid because, and then think about it. Then my last point, Josh Jacobs was a victim away from being Henry Ruggs. Like, imagine the money that he's gotten, and just imagine that. Why do you think that whole struggle was like that? It was like, hey, we're not paying you after what you just did. Matter of fact, go out there during the preseason and you run those reps and show us that you're not going to get pissed one night and go speed off and, get drunk and just taking all that away from it. But again, he's just a victim away from being Henry Ruggs. So, like, again, I brought up Ray Rice. Like, I don't want to pay these guys money. Not only am I sitting here worried about, are they going to hold up, but are they going to one night, Alvin Kamara? I can, what I'm saying? I can keep going.
It takes one incident.
Either injury or lifestyle, But a guy that guy has a naked picture of himself in his house, hey, is very really full of himself. Check it out, Saquon Barkley. Yeah, he has a naked picture of a portrait of himself sipping paint. Hey, sipping paint. Now that's pretty cool. Now I ain't gonna lie. Now remember, I don't know Tanner. I'm gonna be done. I'm sorry.
Is this a legend? Is this a legend?
No, it's not a legend. No.
Is it really out there?
Oh my God.
No.
Oh my God. Zion and Saquon hang out at the same places. That's what's going on.
Hey, but that's a pretty good idea. I'm sure he didn't do sipping paint, but if you're going to do that, man, you can invite some eligible like bachelorettes. You know what I'm saying? Hey, come do a sip and paint, me, Saquon Barkley. Like, that's the way he should have did it. That'd have been cool.
But, right.
Oh man. All right. Wait, you got time.
But no to the money.
Okay. Wait, all right, you got time.
So, to a degree, Jay, I'm appalled. Okay. I'm appalled at you about this. Okay. You have the temerity, the mitigated gall to tell someone that after I played all season, halfway broken, I don't get paid. I can't believe this. I thought you were of the ilk of togetherness. Now, the word of this season, or of this off season, for the owners is collusion. Can we prove collusion? No, but you can look around and see, hey, at one point in time, we were talking about not playing one of the youngest MVP winner, a secure deal, which would have him long term with the team like the Ravens. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. So when we think about that topic, when it comes to the running back, when we talk about Josh Jacobs and we talk about Saquon Barkley, although they aren't the quarterback, right? Let's think about this, right? In the Giants locker room, right? We love Daniel Jones, Danny Dimes, Danny. Oh yeah, I know you don't. I know you don't like that part. I'm getting to the point. Daniel Dimes sounds cool, but who's the real leader of that offense? Saquon Barkley. If you look at the stats, 62% of the plays, whether they were scheduled for Saquon Barkley on that offense or not, was in Saquon Barkley's hands. Crazy. How? We don't know. Was he open? Was it a swing pass? Did he line up at wide receiver this time? Did he get a screen? I don't know. But Saquon Barkley got the ball. Okay. Josh Jacobs. Hey man, was it a 1,000-yard season? Was it a 2,000-yard season? No, but I sure carried that ball as man. Every time you said carry that ball, I carried that ball. Okay. Well, let's think back to someone that's near and dear to my heart. And this person surely regrets not having had agreed to a long-term deal. Let's talk about my man from way back in the day, Le'Veon Bell. Le'Veon Bell was astounding as a running back at one point in time. But you know what he didn't do? He didn't sign the franchise tag. He sat out. And you know what he should have did? Maybe he should have just agreed to the terms of the deals that were on the table. But what I'm saying is, in terms of what was done to these players at this point in time, and you're right, Jay. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying in the terms of what they did, why not give it to them? If you look at the franchise tender for running backs, it's like 10.1 million. Mm-hmm. You know, Justin Tuck makes that much money. And I'm not down in kickers. I'm not down in kickers. Some kickers are really good. I need my 3 points. You feel me? I need that extra one sometimes. But in terms of how that goes, in terms of the hierarchy of offenses, I need my running back to be paid and happy, man. I need that. You know what I'm saying? Gone are the days. But listen, gone are the days of LaDainian Tomlinson. Gone are the days of Emmitt Smith. Gone are the days of Adrian Peterson coming back 3 months after tearing his ACL. But at the same time, you know what I mean? I want to pay somebody that put their life on the line for me. And let's not. And another thing that we have to think about, and Jay, you probably can agree to this. You know what I'm saying? That locker room chemistry is important. You know what I mean? If Saquon Barkley is my leader, he is a dog on the practice field. He is out there. He is in the gym first. He's out the gym last. If the higher ups are not paying him, then what am I doing if I'm the second string wide receiver? All right, what am I thinking about when I'm the starting safety? You know what I'm saying? What about the guys that are new to the Las Vegas Raiders? We're not paying Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs busted his behind last year. Yes, he had a car accident. But come on, you're not gonna pay him. Give me a 2 and 2. At least if you're gonna say you want me to do the franchise tag, give me $25 million, guarantee me 20. I'd put my name on the line. Simple. But they won't even do that. And that is where, once again, the word collusion comes into play, because we know that these owners are going, hey, man, we like to throw the ball anyway. We don't even like to run the ball no more. Look at Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes plays with two of my homeboys from Orangeburg Wilkinson High School right now at wide receiver. Okay, and it's a joke, but at the same time, is the undrafted 3rd, 7th round undrafted player is becoming a prominent thing in the NFL. But when you do have somebody like Jay knows the Atlanta teams really well. Just imagine Bijan Robinson in 2 years. We're going to do that to him? If he goes for 1,000, 12, if he goes for 1,000 and some change, 10, 12 touchdowns, we're going to say, hey, man, we loved you at Texas, but you should have got that NIL money because we ain't gonna give you 10 million here. Okay. So my thing is I'm siding with the players. Yes, the running back position is very, very hit and miss. But when you are hitting, like with the Saquon Barkley, like with the Josh Jacobs, you gotta pay those guys, man.
I just think
I was just gonna say, guys, like,
and Todd Gurley is a really bad example. I meant to about that. I'm sorry. I love Todd Gurley, but Todd Gurley, man, listen. If everybody remembers when he went to LA and they were on those, they were there. It was like, hey man, Todd Gurley, how's your knee? He was like, ain't nothing wrong with my knee. I'm fine. And obviously it wasn't, man. But Todd Gurley's a really bad example. Go ahead, man.
So guys, as we get ready to happen in the next round here, but look, Chiefs won the Super Bowl without a running back, right? Essentially, like you, Pacheco, who came along the way in the 6th round, running back McKinnon, who's been there, various times as well for the Chiefs. Clyde, our 1st round pick from a few years ago, non-existent, injured. You gotta remember that too. But at the same time here, at least one New York team's doing the right thing on signing. I mean, they're both signing their players, but one's signing the right players, one's not, right? You're giving all that money to Daniel Jones. The other guy's Quinnen Williams, right? I'm giving the guy to Quinnen, but why are we signing Daniel Jones and we're not going to pay Barkley, who runs the damn offense, who is part of that offense? And guess what? He has 2 years with he got injured, so he has very little wear and tear on his body this young of age. Like, what do we?
And listen,
let him go.
The next person I can think of that will have to deal with this if this season of recovery goes well, we're gonna be talking about Breece Hall in about a year or two.
We are because of the ACL deal that happened last year.
Right. So they're going to say, he got injured one time, he can't do it again.
Should running backs get paid? Determined, right? It's all situational based, right? I'm not paying nobody a bunch of money because he's a running back, but I'm not paying a guy like Saquon for my offense. If I'm the Giants, hell yes, I am.
Thank you.
If I'm CMC, I'm getting paid. If I'm Derrick Henry, I'm getting paid. But I think everybody now can blame Joe Mixon and all those running backs out there, Kareem Hunt, Zeke, Leonard Fournette, can now all call Joe Mixon and say, hey, thanks for ruining all my money this year because you just ruined it with that restructure. So I appreciate you, buddy, but thanks for nothing.
But Kareem Hunt as well. When he got into that little trouble, he got little hassle.
Yeah,
it's like
he got
everybody hasn't held it down like Nick Chubb, and Nick Chubb has proven to be that guy, and that has been able to hold his own, but everybody can't do it. And my whole thing is not saying don't give them the money, give them more guaranteed money.
Yes.
That way it'll level out, but don't give them long years. Just give them more guaranteed money. Do 2 and 3 year deals like they do as far as like basketball, the contracts, and just more guaranteed money.
Exactly. And that's what my point is, Jay. Therein lies the where we can meet in the middle. More guaranteed money, less years. Give me if everybody watches any type of sports talk shows, then what they're saying is they've been doing these 2 and 2. You get your rookie deal, they franchise tag you, then they franchise tag you again so they can draft another one. Just pay me $20 million, guarantee me that. Guarantee me $20. You remember? Everybody remembers Earl Thomas. Earl Thomas signed that thing and broke his leg. That money he didn't get none of that money after that.
Yeah,
it was hurt. He was hurt. That's why he flipped everybody off going off the field.
Earl Thomas, if you want to say bad examples, maybe he put a little bit of his money, into like private strip parties.
I mean, but that's where
this is
when you're talking about somebody that means something to your team. Earl Thomas meant a lot to that defense at that time. Saquon Barkley means a lot to that Giants offense. Josh Jacobs, because we didn't know the quarterback situation in Las Vegas, meant a lot to that offense in Vegas. So pay those guys. I'm not saying pay every running back, but pay the ones that matter, like
that are performing.
For real.
That if they perform, that's what you do, right? If you're working a regular job, you perform, you should get paid, right? It's how it goes. It's the same thing in the NFL. It's like, what are we doing here with these guys like Saquon and Josh Jacobs? Kareem Hunt.
Le'Veon Bell should have got paid that year, but
Le'Veon also took different routes than that. So, all right, guys.
Yeah, he did.
Let's get going here. We're going to hit there. So, guys, it is halftime here. We got 2 more topics here. Make sure, if you're still watching here, make sure you like, subscribe, hit that bell because you'll know when we're online. So I appreciate you watching. All right, guys, let's get into it here. College football media days. That's right. College football. In case nobody knows that's happening here soon, is going on. Big 12 did theirs last week, and then the SEC, I believe, is still going on this week. I think because it's like a multi-day deal for those guys. But there were some interesting things said. I listened to the Big 12 one personally. They were introducing their new schools into play: Houston, BYU, Cincy, UCF, right? Getting those guys into play, saying, hey, Texas, Oklahoma is still here, but, we got them out early, essentially. And, they were very accomplished in those college media days. So, but what's your guys' thoughts here going into the media days? Did you hear anything great? What are we seeing? Whit, we'll let you kick it off.
Okay. All right. As we mentioned prior several times before, we are in South Carolina, so this is SEC country. But in terms of reaching the masses and expanding on what's already top tier football, just somewhere else, and me or you or Jay might not be able to see it, I want to give a big shout out to the Pac-12, man. This media deal that they cut is going to have them in front of a lot of eyes that are unfamiliar with some of their best teams. A lot of times we start getting to see the Pac-12 more often, more so towards like Heisman voting, getting really close to the playoffs, the college football playoff. But in terms of what they're going to be doing, and to say, look, nationally, the eyes are going to be on these guys. The NIL money is going to start rolling in. The national endorsements are going to start rolling in. We're going to make sure that our Heisman candidates are seen on nationally televised games. If they're not nationally televised, you can watch our network, which, everybody knows, media centers or media hubs for any sport are basically, places like Florida, DC, because they cover 3 areas, between the Maryland, the DC area and Virginia, New York and LA. And now when you say that Pac-12 network, we're talking, USC is coming back into prominence. Crazy. Mm-hmm. Oregon going crazy. You know what I'm saying? We got TCU eventually TCU got showed some love last year. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Hogan for actually doing that. Like and there are other teams in the Pac-12 that when you think of, being great at something, especially for college football media day, like we're missing out on great West Coast football. And at one point in time, the SEC wasn't where it was at, man. It was in the Pac-12. Those California teams were built on the backs of great players that we know and love right now in the NFL and in the Hall of Fame. And I think that kind of getting to know them better, getting to know the coaches better, and also getting the opportunity to see, one of the greatest shows on the sideline, which, of course, if y'all know what we're talking about, we're eventually going to get to see Colorado a little more often. And, with Colorado, we get to see Coach Prime. And Coach Prime gets to put his show on nationally televised games. Am I saying that he's going to be finishing top 10 in the national championship voting? No, maybe not. But at least we'll get to see how it progresses. And I'm pretty sure that somewhere in, the planning for said media deal, somebody was like, hey, man, we got one of the hottest coaches in the country here in our conference. Let's make sure that when they play, a conference rival, and the thing is, I honestly don't know who Colorado's conference rival is, but we should figure it out. We should make sure that we're paying attention, that the world is seeing this, not just the people on the West Coast, but East Coast too, because you want to know why? When the NIL happens, when that recruiting happens, when those recruitment classes start happening, man, we want to get some of those Florida kids, man, to go see the countryside, man. Come to Colorado. Why not? Go to Oregon. Why not? Go to California. Why not? You can do it. Here's Coach Prime. Coach Prime whole family lived in between Atlanta and Florida and Jackson State. Now look at them. They love Colorado. They love the mountains. They love the fresh air. Breathe that good mountaineer. Let me show you what it looks like. You know those aerial pictures that we're getting right now with those really good drone cameras? Just imagine Colorado Stadium in the snow on nationally televised games on a Saturday. Bruh, that speaks volumes to where they're going in the future. Now, am I saying that the Pac-12 is going to start overtaking the SEC for dominance in college football? Maybe not, but we're going to get one or two out of that conference that are going to stand out, that are going to have great quarterback play, because we all know the Pac-12 has basically become the air it out conference. Okay, I don't know where the running backs go, but they dang sure don't go to the Pac-12. The running backs got quarterbacks. I mean, the Pac-12 got quarterbacks and wide receivers galore. But right now that is what is winning college football games. So I think recently this last media day was won by the total of the Pac-12, because they're going to be seen, they're going to be heard. We're going to know more about them. We're going to be putting them in the spotlight, and to some degree, that's where they belong. Shout out to the Pac-12.
Jay,
Hey, man,
you got time, man.
You made it. You know what? I don't need much. You know why? Because the thing about the media days are the fact that I'm gonna go to Georgia. They stuck out. You had Mr. Kirby Smart up there, basically trying to, hey, these tickets. I know, I know they, what we got going on. It's crazy that everybody wants to know, you're going to three-peat. Basically, he went out there and he talked about, his starting quarterback, being Carson Beck. He has the inside track of being a starter. And, hey, that's how it is. Hey, man, they got some cool names, man, for their quarterbacks, man. I just want, hey.
At least it's not Stetson Bennett. At least it's not Stetson Bennett going for his masters or something like that,
right? Man, his masters, man. Stetson Bennett has an actual facility named after him.
Yeah. Right.
In the middle
got
of
the
campus.
freshman dorm.
I actually, as a truck driver, I delivered there. I actually delivered on the UGA campus at a bookstore. Anyway, so the whole thing, man, with Georgia and their media day, man, with the tragedies and you actually had, more situations, infractions with these kids out here speeding and putting themselves in dangerous situations. But Kirby Smart, that stuck out to me, as well as the Big 12. Basically, hey, who cares about Texas and Oklahoma and Mike Gunn? Like, what? Are you serious, dude? Like, you lost them to the SEC. Not only did you lose your top two traditional schools in the conference, you lost them to the SEC. They didn't go to like the Pac-12. They didn't split up and one went to like the Pac-12 and went somewhere else. They went to the SEC, and they sound like the bitter ex-girlfriend that got left for the trophy wife. You know what I mean? And it sounds sad, man, listening to Mike Gundy. Who cares? They messed up. They messed up how? Dude, you're Oklahoma State. Like, when's the last time your rivalry, like, anybody cared about your rivalry?
Yeah,
the thing about the Oklahoma State rivalry was, oh, yeah, it is rivalry week. And, oh, yeah, they do play Oklahoma and Oklahoma State. That's what it has come to. Like on a cable channel, like way up there, like the thousands. Like, oh, snap, they do play. They play as well. So, as far as the rivalry, man, it was bad. It looked bad as far as them saying that they didn't lose anything and they messed up a rivalry. It's just, are you kidding me? Like, the best one is going to the SEC. That's
right.
let's Texas, Oklahoma. Like, what do you mean? Who cares about Oklahoma State? Like, I don't care how terrible Oklahoma and Texas has been. People are gonna watch that whole game. Like, people,
that Red River Shootout, baby.
Game. Yeah, it's come on. So a lot of out of the things that stuck out to me definitely is Kirby Smart. Just doing his thing. Being I guess, damn, think about it. Did anybody hear about Nick Saban today? Like, he hasn't gone up there, but like, has anybody even said anything like we can't wait to hear
Hey,
Nick Saban? No.
I got
Like,
an
it's all
interjection. Go
about
keep going, Jay.
UGA. It's all about UGA. And and then also, like I said, that conference as a whole, they gained like two traditional schools that I think are gonna put the SEC. And like I was telling Tanner, man, like the ACC is on the hot seat. Definitely. Like the ACC is in trouble. They were in trouble before. Now that this is complete, they are in trouble. You will call all the Colombian drug lords to help Miami and get back in contention, man. We need some money because we about to lose out bad. So yeah, man, that's what stuck out to me, man, as far as college the media day so far.
And listen, I wanted to throw this in there, okay? I don't know. And real quick, I'm sure how nerdy I am. In Star Wars, nobody knew that Darth Vader had the Death Star until he blew a planet up. Okay, correct. So I'm afraid of Nick Saban when we don't see Nick Saban. All right, I watched Paul Feinbaum on 3 shows, and they were like, "Hey, Paul, you're great friends with Nick Saban. Who's Saban going to name as his quarterback?" Paul Feinbaum was like, "I can't tell you who's going to be the quarterback at Alabama right now, but maybe in about a few weeks." Yeah, I think Alabama's always somewhere in there lurking. So and Ohio State's another one. But big shouts out to Jay. That's a great answer. The move for the SEC with Oklahoma now, and now watch now. You make a great point. Watch how the coverage of the Red River Shootout is like every freaking where, even if they're not ranked this year, because that's just a traditional. Right, when rivalry week comes around, if you can't name me 2 other teams that play, good and damn well Oklahoma and Texas is playing. Okay, so big. Yeah, I like that answer, Jay.
I will say, you talked about rivalries, Oklahoma State. I will say the last couple of years, I feel like I heard more of Oklahoma, Nebraska playing than I did Oklahoma State. And I'm a Big 12 guy. That's true. Right. So, that's true. And that was more of a highlight of a game anyways. And that was a great game. So
shout out to Buzzing with the Boys, because they sure talked about Nebraska.
Yep, they did. All right, guys. It is the final round. This is actually a bonus round here. I decided, you know what, for this round here, because it's a pretty simple one, not really big timer one, but this is worth 5 points. If you can convince me why this player deserves a boost in Madden 24, which player deserves a rating boost? And I also want to know what rating you guys are going to select as well. So I'm very curious to hear this between you guys. This person gets the +5 in their points total before we end the game. Jay, you kick it off.
Man, damn. And that's so, you know what? Damn. And we talked about this, and you know what? The whole Washington Commanders defense. What are we talking about here? How you gonna sit here and talk about our defensive line? Yeah, man, their defensive line, man, they're nasty, man. Their defensive line is the best, man. Their defensive line is the best. We don't have nobody over 84, 85. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me right now? Now that I think about it, yeah, it's terrible. That's terrible. Don't talk about our defensive line and sit here and say, hey, yeah, man, we can't get anybody over 85, man. Are you serious?
Hey.
Chase Young can't even be 90. Like, Chase Young can't be 90, man. Deron Payne can't be 90. You serious, man? Allen can't be 90, yo?
Right. Allen's one that makes sense to me, not being why is he not 90? Like, that doesn't make sense.
Are you serious? But hey, man, I don't know which one to take, man, out of the whole defense, man. I don't. But let's say the whole Commanders defense, for sure. For sure, man. Okay. That's terrible, man. And I'm not being a homer there, but yeah, when I looked at the list, it was like, I wish I had it in front of me. What?
Yeah.
That's right.
Hey man,
Whit.
I got one for you. And since you took it there, Jay, I might have to follow right behind you. We're gonna go to the dark side, man. I'm talking about these Steelers, okay? Let me let you know something. Last season, TJ Watt got injured. You know, TJ Watt, the brother of JJ Watt, going to JJ Watt's gonna be first ballot Hall of Fame. Shout out to JJ for retiring. Biggest thing in the Houston uniform, one of the biggest things in Arizona. But we got his brother, okay? When his brother was not on the field in a Steelers uniform, y'all know how many games we won? None of them.
None,
so
right?
He needs to be a 99. He needs to be a 99. And we needed to be a 99 right now. I needed to get a 99 right now on that Steelers defense. I'm not saying I don't care about anything else, but it makes sense to me. Why? Because it's going to be going for Defensive Player of the Year again. I know everybody's going to go Micah Parsons. I know everybody's going to go, oh, Micah Parsons is the new LT. Well, we don't need a new LT. I need the old TJ Watt back, okay? I think he was like a 97. He went down a little bit and came back. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he's going to be a 98. But might as well give him that 1 point, man, because he means just that much to our defense. He means that much to the whole team, if you ask me, because it's not even about the sacks in question, how many sacks he has. It's about how many times is he near or around the quarterback and makes the quarterback change the release point of that football to have them not be as accurate. And if you ask me, if anybody gets closer to the quarterback more than TJ Watt, you need to point him out to me, okay? Because I'm telling you right now, when it comes to playing the game of Madden, if I got TJ Watt, man, you might as well go ahead and just hold the right trigger, man. Just go ahead and take off start button. All right, simple as that. So I'm going to go TJ Watt, make him a 99. He could be 97, 98 right now, if I'm not mistaken.
He's 94.
Go ahead and give him that extra point.
94. He's behind.
Give him 6 points. Make him 99.
So we got Washington's whole defense essentially, and then TJ Watt, who was a difference maker for the Steelers. I'm going to go with Whit we'll win those 5 points here. And he wins the game. A come from behind victory. Final score 33 Whit, 29 Jay. Jay had it pretty much out for you the whole entire game there till that bonus round.
You baited me, man.
You listened to Whit and you got the whole Washington football defense in your mind. You just couldn't let it go. So, that's what I guess you got to be careful for next time with Whit. So, we got to watch out. So, Whit, congratulations here real quick here. I'm going to give you 1 minute. You get to talk about anything that you want to talk about, sports related, whatever. And then we'll end it up here. So talk about it.
Wow. Okay. Hear me out, you guys. First win of the inaugural win of our new show. Hear me out. I just want to thank my mom. I want to thank, Jay for being an awesome opponent. He came in swinging, he hit me with a left, hit me with a right. I felt the uppercut, but somewhere in there, my instincts kicked in. And I said, you know what? I'm not tapping out. I'm going to keep fighting. We're going to keep going. So this one's for the home team. Big shouts out to the Steelers. Once again, don't forget, Rec Room is back. Just in a different form. I told you guys we was going to be back. So big shouts out to Tanner. Big shouts out to the whole LTS family. Make sure you guys tune in. We're going to be doing this a lot. We want you guys to join in and be a part of it too, because we a team. Me and Jay a team, even though we arguing, but we a team with y'all, with everybody included too. So big shouts out to us, man. First win, one of many.
He's got it. Everybody, make sure you guys like, subscribe, follow. Jay, Whit, I appreciate you guys joining us today. And I can't wait to continue this thing with you guys. It was a blast.
Man, appreciate you, Tanner, man.
Yeah, man. Thanks, Tanner, bro. We put the team together. We got our own big three over here now.
That's right. It's a blast to do. All right, everybody. Have a fabulous week. We'll talk to you next week.